Hey, welcome to Lunch with Lee. Oh, well, I guess it's late lunch with Lee today. Occasionally that happens. Sometimes it's early lunch with Lee, sometimes it's late. But today we have a special topic because I don't go over it much. But I've had so many people ask that once a week I'm going to start doing a dryer vent only lunch with Lee. So we'll have a chimney lunch with Lee and we will have a dryer vent lunch with Lee. Today we're talking about the basics, which is how is the venting? And this is usually you have your dryer, which dries clothes. It has a flex vent, which we'll go over that in another episode. But the actual venting in the wall that goes from that point in your wall to the outside, how is that supposed to be vented? And even better, without special equipment, how do you know if it's wrong? And for the most part, I can tell you, it's going to be difficult, but the number one thing you can do is figure out where your dryer goes into the wall. That vent starts. If you know where it comes out, that's the key. If you don't know where it comes out, because it could go out the roof, that's not wrong. It could go out the side of the house, that's not wrong. But if you don't know, start to think logically. How, if shortest, straightest way, how would this get to the outside? And if your dryer's on an exterior wall and the vent is this long, lucky you. Because you can just stick your hand in there, clean it, you can look at it, it's quite obvious. But if it's in the middle of a house and you have another floor on top of it, and it has to go either up or it could go down, and it has to go through floors and then up and around and either out through the attic or out through the side of the house. These are times where if you don't know a logical way for it to get to the outside, it's probably wrong. Now, I can't 100% assure you of that, but it should be our local rules, and this may be changing soon, but our local rules are it should be no longer than 25 feet, and that's effective length. And to get a little bit technical, and if you have extra questions, shoot me a message, ask me a question, but it's effective length, meaning if it was a straight run, 25 feet is the longest it could be. If you have a 90-degree turn, that's equal to 5 feet. So if you had 10 feet of vent plus a 90-degree turn, that's 15 feet effectively. So if you have a lot of turns, meaning you have 4 turns in the first foot, that's 20 feet of vent if it's all 90-degree turns in the first foot. And if you're only allowed 25, you only have about another, 5 feet left, if my math is correct. So look inside your walls. Also, the vent inside your walls should be rigid metal and 4 inches round. So that's the size that it comes off the back of the dryer, which is 4 inches if it's a residential dryer. Now, commercial dryers we can do on a different time, but that's a whole different issue. But residential dryers comes out of the back of your dryer at 4 inches. That means it should stay that same 4 inches throughout the whole dryer vent run. So if it is 6, or we see it start at 4 and end at 6, that's bad. It's like as you get a water hose and you make the water hose huge, if you don't change the pressure inside of it, it's just barely going to trickle. And the fan inside your dryer is not designed for fire hose. It's designed for residential hose. So it needs to stay at 4 inches. And it needs to stay ideally as short and as straight as possible. So that is the beginner dryer vent stuff as far as looking at your vent and telling, is this built correctly or not? Because I can tell you, there's other stuff. If it's too long, they actually have booster fans. And there's multiple times. We'll talk about that in a whole nother episode. If you would like to know about booster fans, please let me know. Comment on the videos. If there's anything about dryer vents that you would like to know, dryer sheets is another one. Fabric softener is another one. These are all things that affects how your dryer vent works. The connector that goes from the dryer to the wall. How does that work? So we're going to go with that in future episodes week after week. But if you really want to know about one or the other of these things, please let me know. I'll prioritize it. Or maybe I can shoot a quick video or show one of our manufacturer's videos on how this is supposed to work, what products are better than others. Because some of this stuff, if your dryer vent is just this long and it's knee high on the outside, you can pretty much service it on your own, unless you just don't want to. But you can service it on your own. That's okay. So ask me questions. I can teach you how to service it on your own if you would like. If you want to buy the materials and buy all the stuff, it's possible to service your own dryer vent, but you better buy the right equipment and you better know how to use it, or you just hire someone to do it who actually has the education and the proper equipment. So that's it for today. Once again, I'm looking for dryer vent topics. I have about 50 of them because I train my guys all the time on how to do dryer vent stuff. But I need to know what's important to you. So comment, like, let me know if this dryer vent idea is good or bad. If you think it's horrible, let me know. Put a comment, but like it, share it. That way we can help as many people as possible. And I really, really appreciate it. And once again, tell me a topic you would like me to cover, ask a specific question, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks.